In this video, we'll see how we can actually get to the welcome screen, okay? Because here, after we successfully log in our user, what we want to redirect our user to the welcome screen, okay? Because in the previous video, we saw that this login function is working, okay? As you guys can see. So we're able to sign in our user, but we are still on this page, okay? So in this video, as I said, we will see how we can redirect our user to a welcome screen. First thing first, we need to, you see, when we hit on this login button, we are doing a lot of things, okay? First of all, we validate this email text field, okay? We also validate this password text field, and we make a request to Firebase, okay? A good practice is to show the user, okay, what we are doing, or at least show something to the user, okay? And because we have a lot of background things that are going on here, yeah, every time the user tap on this login button, what we want to do, we want to show that we are working under the hood, okay? Something is going on under the hood. So what we will start doing, first of all, when we tap on this button, we want to show something to the user, okay? So we want to show a loading button, okay? So that's the first thing we're going to do. If we go to the login view, okay, here on this login view, we have this primary button, okay? And if we go on this primary button, what we want to do, we want to add something, okay? We want to add the a loading variable, okay? As we said, every time we are loading, we want to show a loading animation, okay? Here we can create a variable and we will call it is loading, and of course it's gonna to be a boolean, and we want to initialize it to false, okay? Now, here inside this button, what we want to say is if or is loading is true. So if this is loading is true, what we want to do, we want to show a progress view, okay? And now that we have this progress view, what we want, I will simply copy and paste what I have in the finished code, okay? So here for this progress view, we want to add all of this modifier, okay? So it's nothing crazy, okay? It's just to add some style to our progress view, okay? And now we want to display this text only if this is loading is false, okay? So we can put this else here. So if you are not loading, okay, if it's not on the loading state, what we want now, we want to display this, okay? Now that we have this, what we can do, we can go inside the login view model, okay, and we want to create another publish variable, okay, and we will call it is loading, okay, and here is going to be a boolean, and here we want to initialize this to false, okay. And here just for the sake of testing, what we can do here, for this validate credentials, okay, we can comment out this, okay. So if we comment out this, okay, and we simply say is loading, we want to toggle this is loading, okay, just for testing, okay. So here on this login view, normally we are supposed to have an error because here we need this is loading, and we don't get any error simply because we initialize this is loading to false, okay. So here we want to say that this is loading, we want it to be our view model, and this is loading, okay. So now every time we tap on this login button, okay, it will go on this validate credential, and for now, just for the sake of this testing, we will simply toggle this is loading to true, okay. And because now this is true, normally we are supposed to see our loading animation, okay. So let's test this. So if we launch the app again and we tap on our button, and as you guys can see, we have our loading animation, which is kind of cool, okay. So now every time we will be doing this, okay, we'll be validating our email or password, okay, at least our user will know that something is going on under the hood, okay. Now that we have this, the next thing we want to do, we want to go back inside this authentication service, okay? And here what we want to create a publish variable, okay? So it's gonna to be publish, and here we will call it is authenticated, and we initialize this to false, okay? This boolean will simply help us, okay, to check whether our user is authenticated or not, okay? And of course, if this sign in, if we are able to sign in our user, what we want to say that, okay, if we're able to successfully sign in our user, we want to get this is authenticated, okay? And we want to toggle it, we want to set it to true, okay? So self authenticated, and we want to set it to true, okay? Perfect. So now we can go back insert a content view, okay? Because here for initial view we have this login view, okay? But what we want to say, that, okay, if a user is authenticated, we don't want this login view, okay? What we want this main view, okay? Or this welcome view, my bad. So what we want this welcome view. So what we can do here inside this content view, we need to get this shared, okay? We need to get this shared instance of this authentication service, okay? We can come here and create an observable object, okay? So add observable object, and we call it of service, and it's gonna to be of type authentication service, okay? And here we want to initialize it with our share service, okay? So authentication service that share, okay? And now that we have this, what we can do, we can simply copy this and say, okay, if our authentication service, if our user is authenticated, okay, what we want to call our main view, okay? So main view, I'm not sure if it's the main view or the welcome view. Let me double check this. Okay, no, the welcome view is the initial screen, okay? So it's this main view, okay? And if we are not authenticated, what we want to call this login view, okay? Okay, and I think this is pretty simple, okay? So let's check our app. So normally, if we come here and we remove this, so this is loading toggle, so we want to cut this and uncomment this, okay? So we need to place this is loading toggle somewhere, okay? So when we start validating our credential, okay, we want to say that this is loading will be equal to true, okay? Because this is when we start validate our credentials, okay? And now we need to set it to false. When exactly do we need to set it to false? Let's check. Okay, what we can say, we can simply say that, okay, at the end of this, okay, once we are done doing everything, what we can do, we can put it back to false, okay? Okay, let's try this. Okay, so let's run our app again, and here we can enter our email and password, and now we hit on our login, and as you guys can see, we are redirected to this welcome to Can Crossing, okay? And I think everything is working perfectly, okay? As you guys can see here, we are successfully signed in, okay? And the app is working perfectly, okay? So yeah, everything is working perfectly, okay? We are able to sign in, okay? But here we have a problem, okay? Let's say, for example, if we remove this, okay, and we launch this app again, as you guys can see, we are redirected to this login again, okay, to this login view again, okay? Why? Simply because by default, okay, this instance of here, okay, this instance of service, okay, this share instance by default doesn't have any initializer, okay? So what we need to do, we need a way to remember if a user is signing or not, okay? And that's what we are going to do in the next video, okay? We will actually check every time we open the app, we will check if a user is already signed in. What we want to do, we want to redirect him directly to the welcome view, okay? And if it's not, we want to show this login view, okay? So I'll see you in the next video, and we will see step by step how we can accomplish this. In the meantime, take care, guys. Bye bye.